the internet's history, countless amounts of unsettling content have made their presence. One early example of this are creepypastas. They are essentially internet horror stories and urban legends that are copied and pasted all over the internet with the intention to frighten the reader. Although creepypastas aren't as popular today, they have existed ever since the dawn of the internet, and some of them have terrified many people, even some still to this day. So tonight, join me as we take a trip down memory lane and dive into the gaming side of creepypastas. This is the most disturbing gaming creepypastas ever written. The Lavender Town Syndrome was a phenomenon which occurred upon the release of the Pokemon Red and Green games back in February 1996. Shortly after their release, reports emerged that at least 200 children committed either by jumping from heights or hanging, and some others became ill. The reason behind this was due to one of the game's themes, Lavender Town, which contained exceedingly high-pitched frequencies that were more sensitive to children's ears. The developers have since fixed Lavender Town's theme music, but you still need to be careful, as the original version may still be lurking out there. On April 3rd, 2011, a game was posted on the website Equestria Daily named Luna Game. Initially appearing innocuous, several My Little Pony fans decided to download the game and try it out. However, it didn't take long for them to realize that the game's nature proved to be anything but harmless. The game commences as a simple platformer, but things take a dark and chilling turn when all of a sudden you are greeted with a disturbing jump scare. Upon closing the game, players are confronted with numerous duplicates of the same image and text files with the phrase, "The end is nigh." This is the first installment of the Luna game, which features several subsequent sequels, each maintaining the same unsettling ambience and creepy imagery. Initially, players believed this to be a potential virus camouflaged as a game. A thorough investigation was conducted, revealing that this was simply a disturbing and twisted game. The Theater was a supposed video game that was released around the same time as Doom by a company called Salida Software, which primarily developed educational games. This game, however, was never finished, and players who managed to download the game would quickly find out about its disturbing nature. The idea of the game was to select a movie from the posters on the wall, then enter the theater to play a minigame. The ticket taker would also greet you by saying,
"Thank you." Please enjoy the movie.
Just before entering. But should the player continuously not choose a movie and enter the theater anyway, bizarre and unsettling events begin to unfold. The ticket taker's behavior takes a sinister turn. The audio glitches out and unexpected pop-ups occur. This behavior is reported to be so disturbing, in fact, it seems that it's done on purpose. Finally, players will encounter an imposing brick wall blocking the theater entrance. Interacting with it crashes the game. The Tails doll is a mysterious character which first appeared in the game Sonic R as a playable character, appearing to be a doll version of Tails with a red gem on top of its head. While there exists many different creepypasta stories about the Tails doll, the most well-known has to be the Tails doll curse, which summons the eerie doll itself. In order to summon the Tails doll, you must fully complete Sonic R and play as the Tails doll in tag mode. While in tag mode, tag Super Sonic when he comes into view. After following this sequence of events, the screen will change to a picture of the Tails doll standing on a red checkered floor, accompanied by the song Can You Feel the Sunshine playing in the background. At this point, the Tails doll has been successfully summoned and will now start to haunt you in your own home. I Hate You is a creepypasta that narrates the author's unsettling discovery of an alternate ending to Super Mario World. The story begins with them saying how they have already beaten the game numerous times, but on one specific run, when they reached the ending of the sunken ship level, something was off. There was a boo blocking the exit pipe. Strangely, the boo had no visible eyes and was staying completely motionless. At the top laid an oddly placed key and keyhole right next to it. After the player inserts the key into the keyhole, a new path opens up. The Bowser statue starts to cry out blood, and the new level's title is called Oh God No, with Mario's face looking distressed. Upon entering the level, it is nothing but a narrow and seemingly endless hallway, up until strange messages start to appear at the top, such as I hate you and why won't you die? The author continues through the level while seeing more disturbing things, like blood and other dead Marios. However, the true shock peaks when he reaches the boss fight, where we discover that Mario's own brother, Luigi, was behind all of this. A fight sequence plays out between the two and ends with Mario tossing his brother into the lava, which then Luigi says a familiar message, Oh God No. Despite this disturbing find, the author decides to complete the game with no other strange occurrences happening. That is, until he reached the end screen. Herobrine is a widely recognized mythical entity within the Minecraft community. Its origin began with a story from a player who one day was playing in their single-player world and noticed what seemed like another player in the distance. The player described the supposed other player to have a default skin, but with white eyes. Later on, strange things would occur in their world, such as trees with their leaves cut off, formations of sand pyramids, and 2x2 tunnels. The player then decides to bring this subject to a forum to find out if anyone else has encountered this, in which their post was quickly deleted. After trying again and being deleted once more, they receive a direct message from a user called Herobrine with only one word: stop. Delving deeper into the mystery, they found out that Herobrine was the brother of the game's creator, Notch. After sending an email to Notch inquiring if he ever had a brother, he simply replied, "I did, but he is no longer with us." Sonic.exe is the famous tale that centers on Tom, who one day receives a CD and a note from his friend Kyle. The CD was labeled Sonic.exe in black marker, and the note accompanied by it was a warning advising him to destroy the disc and refrain from playing the game. However, as Tom was already a huge Sonic fan, he ignores Kyle's request and decided to insert the CD into his computer and play the game. Upon booting up the game, everything appeared normal up until Tom pressed start. For a split second, the background turns into a hellish nightmare. The sky turns dark. The water is now a pool of blood. Sega 1991 is replaced with Sega 666. And worst of all, is Sonic's eyes, bleeding with 2 ominous red dots. Tom brushes this off and keeps playing the game, only to discover 3 playable characters were available: Tails, Knuckles, and Dr. Eggman. As he selects each character and plays through the empty and dreadful levels, he encounters things such as dead animals, blood, and Sonic himself, who tortures and kills each character one by one. Sonic further amplifies the horror by taunting Tom with disturbing messages throughout the game. While the story itself may be filled with cliches, it is still regarded as a widely recognized creepypasta, solidifying its position as one of the most notorious tales in the genre. NES Godzilla is the story of Zack, who purchases a copy of Godzilla, Monster of Monsters, for the NES, in hopes to relive some old memories. Initially, the game played normally. This was short-lived, however, as once he reaches the first boss, the game starts to glitch out in weird ways, forcing him to reset the game. As Zack continues the playthrough, he encounters bosses that were never before seen in the game. Things take a dark turn when one particular boss, named Red, appears, chasing down Zack and behaving in very strange ways. Zack ends up figuring out that the game he is playing is a personalized version of the game that was made just for him, and Red was the virus that killed his beloved friend Melissa. During the final boss fight with Red, Zack successfully defeats Red. However, the events that occurred were so terrifying to him that he ended up putting the game for sale on eBay. So the game is somewhere out there for anyone who dares to buy and play this creepy game. Ben Drowned is the infamous story of a haunted cartridge of The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. The story begins with the author visiting a garage sale near their area and getting a copy of the game from an elderly man. The cartridge was blank with only the words Majora written in black marker. As he takes the game home, the first thing he notices is there's already a save file named Ben, and the in-game characters would refer to him as Ben instead of his actual file name. After seeing this, he decides to delete Ben's file and turn off the game. When he returned the next day and performed the fourth day glitch, things got even weirder, as the game's music would start to play in reverse. A Link statue would start to spawn repeatedly in front of him, while eerie messages popped up such as, "You shouldn't have done that," and "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" As the story goes, it is revealed that the game used to belong to a boy named Ben who drowned. He has now taken form of the statue of Link and is now haunting the game. Mario is a creepypasta about a strange and mysterious ROM hack of Super Mario World that was discovered on Super Mario World Central and was uploaded by an anonymous user. When an admin downloaded the game to test it out, the hack, simply named Mario, came with a text file. Upon opening it, they find that it contains nothing but a series of random symbols with the word "Find Me" repeated several times. Although they didn't take much of it, it holds a secret which we'll get into in a bit. When booting up the game, we find out that the opening message is altered, putting Mario as the antagonist. Furthermore, the levels are completely absent of music or enemies, and each message box contains strange messages such as, "I hate you," and "Don't you think you've caused enough trouble?" Things take a sinister turn, however. Once the first castle boss is beaten, a message appears, talking about disturbing details of a murder victim. When entering the last level, they reach a secret pipe and enter a void, in which at this point, the game abruptly ends. It is speculated that in this game, Mario is trying to make amends for his actions and is stuck in a hell that looks exactly like Yoshi's Island and ultimately meets his tragic fate. This is where the text file from earlier comes in. After the admin uploaded their experience on the forum, one user discovered that the text file could be converted into an image file. Upon conversion, this is what the image looked like. For the longest time, this image remained a mystery. Was this victim number one, or just a random image? In September 2023, the original, unaltered image was found, putting this mystery to rest. So that'll do it. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Any means of support helps me a lot in these cases, since these are pretty long videos to make. I won't keep you waiting too long, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.